Hey guys, Natalie again. Don't mind me, I really need to wash my hair. And that's the creaking of the floor, by the way. This is an older house that I'm at right now, so I'm like trying to scoot back and it's making a lot of noises. Okay, so. Oh goodness. Okay, so I wanted to quickly talk about something that not a lot of people in the so-called love and light community want to talk about. Not all of them. And whether you label yourself as that. Anyway, so, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on right now, right? We can all attest to that. But not very many people are willing to want to talk about it. And it's almost like it creates some stuff to come up within a lot of people. And like I always compared the analogy of spilled milk. You know, you spill some milk. You're not going to sit there and walk past it and just ignore it. Okay? You're not going to go and sit and play in it either, right? Ideally, most likely you're not. You're going to go acknowledge it and clean it up, right? You know, it's what we would call common sense, but nowadays even common sense, there's so much programming, so much cognitive dissonance, so much arrogance out there a lot of times. And it's not just that. A lot of times people, it literally hurts their entire being sometimes to even bring some of this stuff up. And everybody, you know, we're all doing what we feel we can. You know, I always also use the analogy of a machine, and I don't mean like, you know, machine. So don't take this wrong. But we all are playing specific parts in this whole entire game that we're playing right now. And even saying the word game can be looked at as not taking it so seriously, you know. I don't know what this rant's about, you guys, but I know I'm going somewhere with this, so just stick with me for a second, right? So we're all playing intricate parts in this process, and so for each part, it has to be in a certain position. You know, the way to know, you just got to follow your passions. What are you passionate about? Maybe you're passionate about exposing a lot of this stuff going on. Maybe you are more passionate about assisting people in the ways of helping with energy work, healing. You know, I could go on and on. There's so many different ways people feel passion. But just because you have a passion in something specific does not mean that you ignore the other stuff going around you just because it's not completely your passion. You know, we follow our passions so that way other people gain that information and then they can take it and do whatever they want with it. But they don't have to pretty much look so hard or do so much focus around it. Yes, you have to do your own research. But a lot of the times this stuff will be found out so that way we don't have to do as much research to get to that answer that is, you know, going to resonate with us. And this goes in many directions, So, with that all, that rant, whatever being said, our cell phones. There's been a lot of things, and this has been happening for quite some time, and I'll tell you what, I haven't talked about it in full. I put some stuff out years ago. They're definitely going after people who are either exposing it or who are doing things in the right way of, in the spilled milk situation, they're not just gonna, you know, people who are not just gonna sit there and rant like the Alex Jones show or, you know, Anonymous, whatever. Like, they just sit there and they'll talk about stuff and they don't completely have solutions that are realistic or stuff that's going to assist us. And by realistic, that we could even take that to, you know, our language, Thank you from the Sumerians to the Phoenicians who better, what's the word for it? They were better able to perfect the language system. And so that's why when we talk about we spell when we're a kid, we're doing spelling. We're writing cursive. Spell cursive. Words are so powerful. They are so powerful. Paper, 2D. You know, the way we consent to stuff. The word no is interesting. If you look deeper into it, it has no relevance. So therefore, we keep going and saying, no more cancer, you know, we want to stop the cancer. We want to, you know, we have all these things that we're like, we're going to fight against this. We're going to fight against. Oh, goodness gracious. Exposing stuff is one thing, but to have a cause that solely goes to something that is not assisting us, and it's just a cycle, yeah, with the so-called elitists, whatever you want to call them, I mean, there's so many words and names for them. It's truly just us realizing more things and just not knowing our boundaries, knowing our value. And so I have learned quite a bit because I have definitely been put through many, many experiences that even to this day, some of the stuff I can't even explain. But anyway, let's go back to it. So this is just a rant today, you guys. So just get some of this out. So anyway, I've noticed a lot lately, and this happened a while ago to me, you know, it still happens. I've pretty much gotten used to it. I don't give it, you know, the energy or whatever, but at the same time, it still needs to be talked about. Just not to have the fear about it, right? So, cell phone batteries. Okay? Started peeling off the outer. Okay, there's, let's see, you know what? I think this one already actually got peeled off because I'm peeling off the other part of it. On the inside of your battery, okay, when you open and flip it open, this one doesn't have it. I might already have peeled the outside layer of it off, I'm not sure. Anyway, it will have, this one doesn't have it, but it will have like little, I don't think of the word right now. It will have little like lines, different stuff on it for different tracking things. You don't need that outer layer to keep your cell phone going or for any other function. There's other reason they use it. I would recommend you look some of that up. And so there's a lot of things going on right now with our cell phones. I don't need to tell anybody that. You guys pretty much know that. But there's so many aspects, so many things that are happening. And it's so hilarious. If you go look at the Alex Jones show, there was something that he did. And it's just funny. Like, I don't watch that stuff. But once in a while, just to see what is going on in that genre or in that genre or from this aspect or from that aspect, I'll just check it out every once in a while. And he put out something yesterday that just, it was just like, oh my gosh. And some even of the subscribers, which I've been trying to tell for a little while, you know, once in a while I will put, you know, comment here and there. And it's funny because people were just saying, I don't even know what is going on right now. Like, what in the world? Because it's all fear porn. It's all like getting you hyped up and really angry and pissed off and upset and chaotic and all of that stuff, you know? But then at the same time, and there's some people who are just living under a rock, in other words, that don't want anything to do with this. You know, my brother once said, he's like, nah, I don't want to hear any of this. You know, I just want to live my life and do my thing. And, you know, and so there's so many different sides to this. There's so many different fractals of this and the ways that people are reacting. But we have to know that you can't ignore it and you can't be stuck in it on the other side either. Because then that's going to bring more of that more of the concentration to you. You know, you've got to figure out why are you here? Why are you here on this earth? What do you want to do? You can still enjoy your life and, you know, be able to acknowledge a lot of this stuff and do your own part in changing some of this stuff, you know? And as a collective, that will make huge strides for all of us. You know, everybody's got their own, they're all playing their own part in this, like, so-called machine. I don't mean it in the transhuman, whatever you guys, you know. I mean it that we all are playing a part here and making this work. And so if the machine's a bit, you know, we've got to kind of do something in our own right. And a lot of us are feeling those urges to, you know, really truly follow our passions. And within doing that and doing this all together, it fires a lot of stuff up. Yeah, there's a lot being purged, and that's why. Because we are doing this. We are. Just remember, they don't know the meaning of the word no. They don't. Because the universe doesn't acknowledge it either, you know? And we can go into boundaries and stuff like that, but it makes a whole lot of sense when you think about it. You know, you apply a lot of what Abraham Hicks says, you know, which I apply a lot of that stuff. At the same time, you've got to also think, because then it can make some people just go, oh, no, I'm going to avoid this, I'm not even going to listen to any of this stuff, right? They don't want to listen to any of it. Nope. I am in my vortex, and you know, yes, I understand that. I totally get that. We also need to realize that if we were in a complete space where everyone understood that and they were being aware of that, then we wouldn't, yes, that makes a lot of sense, and we didn't have to deal with all this corruption. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Doesn't mean that you don't follow that, but what it means is we've got to be aware of all different aspects and components going on right now. And realize how to transmute that. It's called alchemy. You know? There's, in life, alchemy's everywhere. You know? What are we transmuting? What are we pulling in? What are we putting out? So anyway, this is just a rant. Probably makes absolutely no sense, but it's just what's going on in my head right now. My heart. It's my passion. At this very moment, right now. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I will talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.